సరే సరే సడన్గా చెప్తున్నావా చదువుతున్నావా అన్సరీ అన్సరీ చదువుతున్నావా చూసుకో నాకు తర్వాత ఇక ఇక్కడ ఏదో రాసుకున్నావు ఇక్కడ ఏదో రాసుకున్నావు న్యూట్రిషన్ ఏదో అన్ని పెట్టుకో. ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్ బ్యాగ్ ఇక అదేంటిది వాటర్ ఉన్నాయి చేతులు. అన్ని పెట్టుకో. ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్ బ్యాగ్ అది. Habe nach Gesta? Okay. Metro. ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్ బ్యాగ్ అంటే మనకు ఎందులో డాక్టర్ సంబంధించి హెల్త్ ఏదైనా కంపెనీ
చేస్తారా?
Hmm?
చేస్తారా?
Yes, yeah, just
చేస్తా.
yeah. రాణి రాణి వచ్చినా చెప్తా. ఓలా వచ్చినాక చెప్తారా? ఇప్పుడే బుక్ చేస్తాను. కార్లో బుక్ చేస్తాను. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Raja Prabhu, Sandhya Mata Dandavatnam. All glory Shishla Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining today. So, okay, eventually devotees will join. We'll start. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Lalit Mohan Prabhuji, Dandavatnam.
హరే కృష్ణ బాబు దండం
అంటే అన్నవరం తిప్పలు పోతాయి కదా అంత వేస్ట్ అంత రూట్ ఇప్పుడు బస్సు రూట్ లో వెళ్తే బాగా ట్రాఫిక్ ఉంటుంది అందుకని జస్ట్ రాయదుర్గ్ దగ్గర బైక్ పెట్టేసి అక్కడ నుంచి వెళ్తా మెట్రోకి అది ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది ఈ బైక్ ఇప్పుడు యాక్టివ్ అక్కడ పెట్టి పోతా నేను చేసిన ఇక ఎంత 3 minutes 3 నిమిషాలు వస్తుంది ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ మజ్ఞానతిమిరంధస్య జ్ఞానాంజనశలాకయా చక్షుర్మిలితమేన తస్మై శ్రీగురవే నమః నమో ఓం విష్ణుపాదాయ కృష్ణాయ పతయే శ్రీమతే భక్తివేదాంత స్వామినితి నామినే నమస్తే సరస్వతి దేవే గౌరవాణి ప్రచారిణి నిర్విశేష శూన్యవాది పాశ్చాత్య దేశతారిణి శ్రీకృష్ణ చైతన్య ప్రభు నిత్యానంద శ్రీ ద్వైత గదాధార శ్రీవాసాది గౌర భక్త బృంద హరే కృష్ణ 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 హరే 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 రామ్ 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 Purvam Karati Vachanam Pamulam Gayati Devrit Kripakamam Shri Ramantam Paramanandam Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishram Om Pavitra Pavitra Vasarala Vasyamato Yasmarit Mundari Paksham Sabhashya Bhantaram Jajati Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. So we are reading from Sri Chaitanya, not Chaitanya, we are reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. So let me quickly read this. Who else? 4, 5, let us know. Who else would have taught them how to worship deity form of Lord Hari? Deity form of Lord Hari. Day and night. Day and night. Day and night means years la night, morning, other years la night. 24 hours. 80 worship is going on. The Prabhupada mercy. So who else would have taught them how to worship the deity form of the Lord Hari? Day and night with Arati Kirtana. Every charu Srila Prabhupada. And how to conduct the Ratha Yatra and other grand festivals. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita contain the essence of the nectarian millers of love of Godhead. Who else would have explained these scriptures so clearly and beautifully? Very good. Anybody likes to sing? 4, 5? Tune తెలుసు కదా? Anybody? Okay. Okay. I will sing. Give me 1 minute. Ansini, try once. Ansini, ఒక పెన్ను పేపర్ వేసుకో. చిన్న పెన్ బుక్ ఇది రాసుకో. కింది పోయి వెయిట్ చేయకండి. 7025 ఎండ్ విత్ దట్. నువ్వు తెచ్చుకోపా. నువ్వు అన్ని పెట్టుకున్నావు, అన్ని పెట్టుకున్నావు. రెడీ? ఒక చిన్న బుక్ తెచ్చుకో. ఇప్పుడు తీసుకుపోతున్నా బుక్స్. ఇది రాసుకో. ఓటీపీ అడుగుతారు. చెప్తా ఇట్లా. 1 second, what is Hansen is going for the exam. My in-laws came helping out. Rama, hey. for waiting. Thank you for waiting. Yadi Prabhupada Haito Tabe ki Haito E Jivana ki Sive Bahite ki se. Yeah, they are coming. Okay. వస్తున్నారు కిందికి వస్తున్నారు కిందికి వస్తున్నారు రెడీ అక్కడనే వస్తున్నారు ఓకే ఓకే యాదే ప్రభుపాద హైతం తాబే కి హైతం ఏ జీవానా బాహిత కిసే దేశ దేశే హరి విగ్రహ సేవా ఆరతి రాత్రి దీనే దేశ దేశే హరి విగ్రహ సేవా आरती रात्रि दीने रथयात्रादि महोत्सव सब सिखाईता को न जाने रथयात्रादि महोत्सव सब सिखाईता को न जाने यदि प्रभुपाद न हुई तो ताबे की हुई तो ए जीवन बाहित किसे यादि प्रभुपाद हईत ताबे की हईत हे जीवन वाहित किसे गीता भागवत चैतन्य चरिता प्रेमामृता रस सारा गीता भागवत चैतन्य चरिता प्रेमामृता रस सारा काताना सुंदरा सरल करिया के बुझ है तारा काताना सुंदरा सरल करिया के बुझ है तारा यदि प्रभुपाद न हुई तो ताबे की हुई हे जीवाना बाहित किसे यदि प्रभुपाद न हुई तो ताबे की हुई तो हे जीवाना बाहित किसे जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील गुरुदेव की जय so see this is the thing no what is that katana sundara sarala kariya ke bujahitara katana sundara sarala kariya ke bujahitara beautiful Bengali language. Katana Sundara Sarala Kariyake Puja Hatahara. What does it mean? Fifth line. Who else would have explained the scripture so clearly and beautifully? Very simple language, highest philosophy. Simple language with highest philosophy, topmost philosophy. Prema Bhakti. Hello? అక్కడికి వెళ్ళాక నాకు కాల్ నేను పే చేసుకుంటాను. So this is the thing. Who else would have explained these scriptures so clearly and beautifully? Kathana Sundara Sarela. Kathana Sundara Sarala Kariya ke Bujaitara. We have to learn from Srila Prabhupada's life. So we'll continue from reading here from Robert. Okay? Devotees. Sandhya Mataji, please start.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Robert. Once we went over to this big office building on 42nd Street and we went in there. The rent was thousands of dollars for a while, for a whole floor. So I was standing there talking to the man, but I did not understand how all this money would come up. The Swami wanted a big place and I did not know what to tell the man. Prabhupada wanted a big place and a big place meant a big price. He had no money and Robert Nelson had only his unemployment checks. Still, Prabhupada was interested. If he were to find a building, that would be a great step in his mission. And this was also another way of engaging Mr. Robert. Besides, Krishna might do anything, give anything, or work in any way, ordinary or miraculous. So Prabhupada had his reasoning and Mr. Robert had his. Robert. The building was between 6th and Broadway on 42nd Street, some place to open Krishna's temple. We went in and up to the second floor and saw the renting agent, and then we left. I think it was 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month. We got to a certain point and the money was too much. And then we left him. When he brought up the prices, I figured we had better not. We had a stop. We had to stop. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Madhavi Mataji, Hare Krishna. Please read, Madhavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. No.
On another occasion, Robert Nelson took Prabhupada by bus to the Hotel Columbia at 70 West 46th Street. The hotel had a suite that Prabhupada looked at for possible use as a temple, but again, it was very expensive and there was no money. Sometimes Robert would make purchases for Prabhupada with the money from his unemployment checks. Once he bought orange colored t-shirts, once he went to Woolworths and bought kitchen pots and pans and some picture frames for Prabhupada's pictures of Lord Chaitanya and his spiritual master, Robert. One time I wanted to know how to make chapati cakes. So Swami says, $100 please for the recipe. $100 please. So I went and got some money, but I couldn't get $100. But he showed me anyway. He taught me to cook and would always repeat, wash hands, and you should only eat with your right hand.
Finish this.
Yeah. And whoever met the Swami was almost always impressed. They would start smiling back to him, and sometimes they would say funny things to each other that were nice. The Swami's English was very technical always. I mean, he had a big vocabulary, but sometimes people had a little trouble understanding him, and you had to help sometimes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you. He had a big vocabulary, but sometimes people had a little trouble understanding, and you had to help sometimes. Thank you, Mataji. So now next, Vani Mataji, Hare Krishna. Are you ready?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Nanda,
Yeah, should I
please
start?
continue. Continue.
The Paradox at 64th East 7th Street on the Lower East Side was a restaurant dedicated to the philosophy of Georges Chavda. 1 second, Prabhuji. Oshawa, sorry. Georges Oshawa and the microbiotic diet. It was a storefront below street level with small dining tables placed around the candlelit room. The food was inexpensive and well reputed. Tea was served free, as much as you liked. More than just a restaurant, the Paradox was a center for spiritual and cultural interest, a meeting place reminiscent of the cafes of Greenwich Village or Paris in the 1920s. A person could spend the whole day at the Paradox without buying anything, and no one would complain. The crowd at the Paradox was a mystical congregation interested in teachings from the East. When news of the new Swami uptown at Dr. Mishra's reached the Paradox, the word spread quickly. Harvey Cohen and Bill Epstein were friends. Harvey's was a freelance artist, and Bill worked at the Paradox. After Harvey had been to Prabhupada's place at Dr. Mishra's young studio a few times, he came by the Paradox and began to describe all about the new Swami to Bill and other friends. Bill, I was working at the Paradox one night when Harvey came to me and said, I went to visit Mishra and there is a new Swami there, and he's really fantastic. Well, I was involved in microbiotics and Buddhism, and so at first I couldn't care less. But Harvey was a winning and warm personality, and he seemed interested in this. He said, why don't you come uptown? I would like you to see this. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you. Let me see where else. Tirisha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Please read.
Yeah. Good. So I went to one of the lecture on 72nd Street. Yeah. So I went to one of the lecture on 72nd Street. I walked in there and I could feel a certain presence from the Swami. He had a certain very concentrated, intense appearance. He looked pale and kind of weak. I guess he had just come here and he had been through a lot of things. He was sitting there chanting on his beads, which he carried in a little bead bag. One of Dr. Mishra's students was talking, and he finally got around to introducing the Swami. He said, "We are the moons to the Swami's sun." He introduced him in that way. The Swami got up and talked. I did not know what to think about it. At that time, the only steps I had taken in regard to Indian teaching were through Ramakrishna, but this was the first time, to my knowledge, that Bhakti religion had come to America. Bill Epstein, quite in contrast to Robert Nelson, was a dashing romantic person with long, wavy dark hair and a beard. He was good looking and effervescent and took upon himself a role of informing people at the restaurant of the city's spiritual news. Once he became interested in the new Swami, he made the Swami an ongoing topic of conversation at the restaurant. Bill, I went in the back and I asked Richard, the manager, "I'm going to take some food to the Swami. You don't mind, do you?" He said, "No, take anything you want." So I took some brown rice and other stuff and I bought it up there. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Rashmi Mata is there, Mana Gaurav Prabhu? Or you are only reading?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, you are only reading?
Yeah, Rashmi is in her hometown.
What's Prabhu?
Rashmi is in her hometown, Prabhuji.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah,
Sure.
continue, Prabhu.
Yeah, I went upstairs and knocked on the door, and there was no answer. I knocked again, and I saw that lights was on because it had a glass panel, and finally he answered. I was really scared because I had never really accepted any teacher. He said, come in, sit down." We started talking, and he said to me, "The first thing that people do when they meet is to show each other love. They exchange his name, they exchange something to eat." So he gave me a slice of apple, and he showed me the tape recorder he had, probably for recording his chants. Then he said, "Have you ever chanted?" I said, "No, I haven't chanted before." So he played a chant, and then he spoke to me some more. He said, "You must come back." I said, "Well, if I come back, I'll bring you some more food." James Green, a 30-year-old carpentry teacher, a Cooper Union, was delivering from Eastern philosophy. He lived in the same block as the Paradox and began hearing about the Swami from Harvey Cohen and Bill Epstein while regularly taking his evening meal at the restaurant. James, it was really Harvey and Bill who got things going. I remember one evening at Mishra's in which Swami was only a presence but did not speak. Mishra's student seemed more into a bodily aspect of yoga. This seemed to be one of the Swami's complaints. His room off 72nd Street was quite small. He was living in a fairly narrow room with a door on one end. Swami would set himself up along one side, and we were rather closely packed. It may have been no more than 8 feet wide, and it was rather dim. He sat on his thin mattress, and then we sat on the floor.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sapam Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
His room on 22nd Street was quite small. He was living in a fairly narrow room with a door on the one end. Swamiji would set himself up along one side, and we were rather closely packed. It may have been no more than 8 feet wide, and it was rather dim. He sat on his thin mattress, and then we sat on the floor. We couldn't chant. We would just come and he would lecture. There was no direction other than the lecture on the Bhagavad Gita. I had read a lot of literature, and in my own shy way, I was looking for a master, I think. I have no aggression in me or go-getting quality. I was really just a listener. And this seemed right, hearing the Bhagavad Gita, so I kept coming. It just seemed as if things would grow from there. More and more people began coming. Then it got crowded and he had to find another place. The new group from the paradox was young and hip, in contrast to the older, more conservative uptown people who had been attending Prabhupada's classes. In those days, it was still unusual to see a person with long hair and a beard. And when such people started coming to Swami's meetings on the west side, some of the older people were alarmed. As one of them noted, Swami Bhaktivedanta began to pick up another kind of people. He picked them up at the Bowery or some attics, and they came with funny hats and grey blankets wrapped around themselves, and they startled me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Saritmam, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Am I audible, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Thank you. David Allen, a 21-year-old seeker who came up from the paradox, had just moved to the city, optimistically attracted by what he had read about experimentation with drugs. He saw the old group as a kind of first budgety group of older women on the west side, listening to Swami's lecture. David, we weren't known as hippies then, but it was strange for the people who had originally been attracted to him. It was different for them to relate to this new group. I think most of the teachers from India up to that time had older followers, and sometimes wealthy widows would provide a source of income. But Swamiji changed right away to the younger, poorer group of people. The next thing that happened was that Bill Epstein and others began talking about how it would be better for the Swami to come downtown to the lower east side. Things were really happening down there, and somehow they weren't happening uptown. People downtown really needed him. Downtown was right, and it was ripe. There was life down there. There was a lot of energy going around. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, shall we read one more, Prabhu?
We'll read one more. మీకే చెప్దాం అనుకున్నా. యాక్చువల్గా ఒకసారి ఈ పేరాగ్రాఫ్ చెప్పి ఒక 2 నిమిషాలు మాట్లాడండి ప్రభు. నేను కొంచెం విన్నాను. Basically, this chapter talks about.
See, there are many avenues
Free to
which Prabhupada is trying to means. So he tried at different places how he can get a good place to preach, but somehow or other, the people, the acquaintances whom he got, they are not such experienced in dealing with the real estate agents and all. So Prabhupada thought that let us try, and what he could get is very expensive places. And at last, this Bill Epstein and other devotees who has come, they said that this uptown people who are older lot is not that good for you to preach. It's better for you to come to the east side or downtown, that is Bowery side, where a lot of people have become hippies there. People why they become hippies? Because they don't want to join the war, and they don't want to listen to anyone who crossed 40 or who crossed 35, because they used to think like that whoever crossed 35, because of their family and all their responsibilities, they will become manipulative. They will never be straightforward. So that was the mood that was going down in 1960s in US. Why? What they are telling actually, the war was going on in the Vietnam. Okay, US-Vietnam war was going on, and initially it was between the Soviets and US, okay, and Democrats. That was how it started. But once after coming into it, there are lobbies in the US which do a lot of which lobby they are this what is say weapon lobbies. Okay, there are these weapon manufacturing lobbies in US which really sensed a lot of business in there, where in the war, the more the war continues, the more these lobbying groups will get a lot of money because of their business. Okay, then what did they do? Because of their lobbying and all, because of their business, They wanted that 1960s war of Vietnam to be continued, and it continued till 1979. So in this scenario, the general youth, who are the main people who would go to the army or who would get recruited to the army, could sense this, okay, and they were not interested at all to join the, what do you say, to join army and all. So in turn, what did they do? They came to this drug addiction and all this hippie kind of culture, okay. They don't want to hear anyone, they don't want to join anyone, join any army. So that was the scene which was pervading at that point of time in 1960s when Prabhupada has gone there, late 1960s. Okay, and the reason why this Bill Epstein or Harvey Epstein and all these people, they told Prabhupada, you come down because people are frustrated enough there. There's a lot of energy also to take to the eastern side of philosophy. Prabhu, is it done, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now those youngsters, they guided Prabhupada to come towards the downtown.
Correct. That's where 26th Avenue coming into play. That place where he started actually. Storefront center. Oh, yeah. The Robert Nelson, initially, the kind of assistant he needed. He had very little, but what he saying, one is very affectionate towards the Swami. And out of 8 million people in the city, he was practically the only one who showed personal interest to him, personal interest in him, and offered to help. So these are his words, okay, Robert. Me and Swami went around to this record company on 46th Street. We went there and I started talking, and the man was all business. He was all business and me, they go together. So we went in there with a tape and we are tried talking to the man. Swami was talking, but the man said he couldn't put the tape out. I think he listened to the tape, but he wouldn't put it out. So we felt discouraged, but he didn't say much about it. Trying to help, in the initial days, this Robert Nelson going with Srila Prabhupada. So his words, you see, these are the italics are his words. Once we went over to this big office building on 42nd Street and we went in there, the rent was thousands of dollars, looking for a proper center. So I was standing there talking to the man, but I didn't understand how all this money would come. The Swami wanted a big place and I didn't know what to tell the man, right? So the building was between 6th and, so these are the things, finding a place for, he loves Srila Prabhupada, affectionate person. One time I wanted to know how to, he wanted to know, he got some interest, by looking at Swami Srila Prabhupada. He got some interest. One time I wanted to know how to make chapati cakes. So Swami said, $100, please, for the recipe. Funny. So I went and got some money. I couldn't get $100, but he showed me anyway. He taught me to cook and would always repeat. Wash hands, wash hands. You should only eat with your right hand. So these are the things. These are the various things, various personalities. In the beginning, how he started Srila Prabhupada, this movement. Center, the small center.
Prabhu, Robert Nelson, Bill Epstein, and Harvey Cohen, na? These are the three people who came to him. Right?
Correct.
Bill Epstein, Harvey Cohen, and Robert Nelson. Remember, Prabhu, out of these three or someone, one will try to now hit Prabhupada with chalk actually. Will ఎవడో పొడిచేద్దాం అనుకుంటాడు ఇప్పుడు Prabhupada. ఇప్పుడు మన next chapter, I guess.
I couldn't able to recall, bro.
ఎవరో ప్రభు ఈ ముగ్గురులోనే ఎవరో ఇప్పుడు చిన్న పిల్లోడు యాక్చువల్లీ అతను కూడా he will come and stay along with Prabhupada and he will try to stab Prabhupada with the chalk. He was in he will be addicted with the drugs actually. Come all the whole night alone, come alone in the night and then And there Prabhupada writes, na, today is the happiest day in my life because 6 devotees has come
Correct.
to ask questions in Bhagavad Gita. He never mentioned this, that this person has tried to stab me and all. No, that Swatswarup Maharaj I mentioned, but Prabhupada never mentioned those things.
So other person came, David Allen.
Yeah, might be someone of these people. Not here or in the next chapter. ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడైతే ఏం రాయలేదు కదా. We didn't come across that, right? Till now?
Yes, we didn't come across. So this person is there, along with those three.
David Allen. Okay.
Optimistically attracted by what he had read about experimentation with drugs. He saw the whole group as a kind of first budgetary group of older women on the west side listening to the Swami's lectures. This is so their own feelings, their own interaction with Prabhupada, what happened that time. We weren't known as the hippies then, but it was strange for the people who had originally been attracted to him. Him means Srila Prabhupada. Purity attracts, right? That we say now. Purity attracts. Even so deep-rooted conditioned souls. Hippies are very deep-rooted conditioned souls. So, Srila Prabhupada, purity devotee. Purity attracts. It was different for them to relate to this new group. I think most of the teachers from India up to that time had older followers. One second. Hello? Okay. Okay, hello. Sir. So this is the thing. But Swamiji changed right away to the younger, poorer group of people. The next thing that happened was that Bill Epstein and others began talking about how it would be better for the Swami to come downtown to the Lower East Side. Okokkaru try to, we wanted to help this personality, we wanted to do something for him. కదిలించింది అనమాట, హృదయం కదిలింది. ఏమంటారు కదా, మనం చలింపజేసిన అంటారు కదా. Things were really happening down there, and somehow they weren't happening uptown. People downtown really needed him. Downtown was right, and it was right. There was a life down there. There was a lot of energy going around. కొద్దిగా స్టార్ట్ అయింది చిన్నగా, ఒక్కొక్కటిలాగా ఒక్కొక్కరు వచ్చిండ్రు. Now real story begins. Next chapter also we'll read for some time, okay? And Prabhuji, on the Bowery is very important chapter. నా రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే ప్రభుజీ, రేపు ఫ్రెష్గా చదువుదామా ప్రభు? ఎందుకంటే నేను రష్లో ఉన్నా, ఒక శ్లోకాన్ని చేసేసి వెళ్ళిపోదాం. 9 o'clock I wanted to close.
Okay, okay, ప్రభు.
Okay, so అది మనం రేపు ఫ్రెష్గా చదువుదాం ప్రభు. అదర్వైజ్ Akinchan Prabhu is there, Chandravali Prabhu is there. Both of you are on laptops. I will give the host access. You can continue. I will be hearing more than. Akinchan Prabhu, Haribol, Chandravali Prabhu, Haribol.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm okay with
Are
that.
you on laptop?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Chalo. Then I am making you host. You open the Prabhupada's another chapter. I'm going to share. Okay? And
Okay.
then you continue. And in the Veda Reading Club group, I have shared the slokas that we are going to do in this week. So open that file and recite, okay? I will be in hearing mode. If I get a chance, I will recite with you all, okay?
Okay, Prabhuji.
I'm making you host, Prabhu. You share that chapter 17. I'm sharing the link here.
Okay, yeah.
On the board, it's very important chapter. You can spend 9:15, 9:20, okay? I will be on drive. I have to drive. Okay. Okay, Prabhu. You can share here, Prabhu. What is that? I'm just sending a chat message. Click on the link, then share your screen.
Yeah.
Share your screen.
Yeah.
Thank you, devotees, for reading. We'll continue for some more times. 9:15, 9:20, whatever. Okay. I will be in between. I will be going out. Thank you so much.
1 minute, guys. I'm sharing my screen. Share screen. Guys, I've shared my screen. Are you guys able to see?
Yes, Prabhu. We could see. We could see now.
Hare Krishna. Yes. So next, who is going to read? I did not read. Shall I go ahead?
You go ahead, Prabhu. You didn't
Yes.
read, na?
Yeah.
Prabhu has
Mataji,
didn't-
Mataji sir left. Hello.
Lavanya
Prabhuji,
Mataji, do you want to read?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Leru Prabhu, Leru. So,
Okay.
మీరే ప్రభు చంద్రబాబు మీరు చదవండి మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి ఇంకొక రౌండ్ చేపియండి వన్ పారాగ్రాఫ్ 2 పారాగ్రాఫ్స్ అట్లా ఓకేనా
Okay, Prabhu.
హరే కృష్ణ
Hare Krishna. Chapter 17 on the Bowery. I could not understand the difference between friends and enemies. My friend was shocked to hear that I was moving to the Bowery, but although I passed through many dangers, I never thought that this is danger. Everywhere I thought, this is my home. Srila Prabhupada in conversation. April 19, April 1966, someone broke into a room 307 while Srila Prabhupada was out and stole his typewriter and tape recorder. When Prabhupada returned to the building, the janitor informed him of the left as unknown burglar and had broken the transom glass, climbed through, taken the valuables, and escaped. As Prabhupada listened, he became convinced that the janitor himself was the culprit. Of course, he could not prove it, so he accepted the loss with disappointment. Some friends offered replacements for his old typewriter and tape recorder. Next, so next, who is ready to read?
Prabhuji, once one round is completed, I can start.
Completed. Okay. Yeah, you please go ahead, Marcus.
In a letter to India, he described the theft as a loss of more than 1,000 rupees, $157. It is understood that such crime as has been committed in my room is very common in New York. This is the way of material nature. American people have everything in ample, and the worker gets about 100 rupees as daily wages, and still there are thieves for want. Thieves for want of character. The social condition is not very good. Prabhupada had told Joseph Forster, the India ticket agent, that he would be returning to India in a couple of months. That was 7 months ago. Now, for the first time since his arrival, Prabhupada had returned to the India ticket office in Brooklyn. He talked about the theft to Mr. Forster, who responded with "Welcome to the club," and told Prabhupada about the recent theft of his own automobile. Such things, he explained, were not unusual for New York City. He told Prabhupada of the dangers of the city and how to avoid thefts and muggings. Prabhupada listened, shaking his hand. He told Mr. Foster that American young people were misguided and confused. He discussed his plan for returning to India and showed Mr. Foster one of his Bhagavatams. Thank you, Professor.
Hare Krishna. Next, please go ahead with some other Matajis. I'm not able to read their names. That's why.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah. Prabhupada had lost his spirit for living in room 307. What would prevent the janitor from stealing again? Harvey Cohen and Bill Epstein had advised him to relocate downtown and had assured him of a more interested following among the young people there. It had been an attractive proposal and he began to reconsider it. Then Harvey offered Prabhupada his studio on the Bowery. Harvey had been working as a commercial artist for a Madison Avenue advertising firm when a recently acquired inheritance had spurred him to move into loft on the Bowery to pursue his own career as a painter. But he was becoming disillusioned with New York. A group of acquaintances addicted to heroin had been coming around and taking advantage of his generosity, and his loft had recently been burglarized. He decided to leave the city and go to California, but before leaving, he offered his loft for Prabhupada to share with David Allen. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. David Allen had heard that Harvey Cohen was moving to San Francisco if he could sublet his AIR loft. Harvey hadn't known David very long, but on the night before Harvey was supposed to leave, he coincidentally met David 3 different times in 3 different places on the Lower East Side. Harvey took this as a sign that he should rent the loft to David, but he specifically stipulated that the Swami should move into. As Prabhupada was preparing to leave his 72nd Street address, an acquaintance, an electrician who worked in the building, came to warn him. The Bowery was no place for a gentleman, he protested. It was the most corrupt place in the world. Prabhupada's things had been stolen from room number 307, but moving to the Bowery was not the answer.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mataji's anyone can read?
చంద్రమౌళి ప్రభు గిరిరాజ్ ప్రభు ఏ పారాగ్రాఫ్ అయితే చదువుతున్నారో అది హైలైట్ చేయమని చెప్పారు.
Okay, okay. Yeah, sure. Next, Mataji's, can anyone read this para?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I'll read.
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada's new home, the Bowery, had a long history in the early 1600s when Manhattan was known as New Amsterdam and was controlled by the Dutch West India Company. Peter Minute, the governor of New Netherlands, staked out a north-south road that was called the Bowery because a number of breweries or farms lay on either side. It was a dusty country road lined with quaint Dutch cottages and bordered by the peach orchard growing in the estate of Peter Twist. It became part of the high road to Boston and was of strategic importance during the American Revolution as the only land entrance to New York City.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji's next, can anyone read this paragraph?
Prabhuji, I'll read.
Yeah.
In the early 1800s, the Bowery was predominated by German immigrants. Later in the century, it became predominantly Jewish, and gradually it became the city's center of theoretical life. However, as the history of Lower Manhattan describes, after 1870 came the period of Bowery's celebrated degeneration. Fake auction rooms, saloons specializing in 5-cent whiskey and knockout drops, sensational dime musics, filthy and rat-ridden stale beer dives, together with Charles M. Foyle's song, The Bowery, I will never go there anymore, fixed it forever in the nation's consciousness as a place of unspeakable corruption.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Any Matajis left? If no more Matajis, then Prabhujis can start. Anyone can start. Hare Krishna, Prabhujis.
Akinchan Prabhu, can you please go ahead, Prabhu?
Yeah.
The reaction of the Prabhupada's electrician friend was not unusual. The Bowery is still known all over the world as Skid Row, a place of ruined and homeless alcoholics. Perhaps the uptown electrician had done business in the Bowery and had seen the derelicts sitting around, passing a bottle, or lying unconscious in the gutter, or staggering up to the passerby and drunkenly bumping into them to ask for money.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sapan Prabhuji, could you please read?
Hare Krishna. Most of Bowery's 7,000 or 8,000 homeless men slept in lodging houses that required them to vacate their rooms during the day. Having nowhere else to go and nothing else to do, they would loiter on the street, standing silently on the sidewalks, leaning against a wall or shuffling slowly along, alone or in groups. In cold weather, they would wear 2 coats and several suits of clothes at once, and would sometimes warm themselves around a fire they would keep going in the city garbage can. At night, those without lodging slept on the sidewalks, doorsteps, and street corners, crawled into discarded boxes, or sprawled side by side next to the bars. Thefts were a commonplace. A man's pockets might be searched 10 or 20 times while he slept. The rates of hospitalization and death in Bowery were 5 times higher than national average, and many of the homeless men bore marks of recent injuries or violence. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Gaurav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhupada's loft, 94 Bowery, was 6 blocks south of Houston Street. At Houston's and Bowery, derelicts converged in the heavy crosstown traffic. When cars stopped for the light, bums would come up and wash the windshields and ask for money. South of Houston, the first block had mostly restaurant supplies, stores, lamp stores, taverns, and lunch hornets. The buildings were of 3 and 4 stories, old, narrow, crowded tenements, their faces covered with heavy fire escapes. Traffic of the Bowery ran uptown and downtown. Cars parked on both sides of the street, and the constant traffic passed tightly. During the business day, working people passed briskly among the slow-moving derelicts. Many of the store windows were covered with protective iron gates, but behind the gates, the store owners lit their varieties of lamp to attract prospective wholesaler and retailer customer. 94 Boweries, was just 2 doors north of Hester Street. The corner was occupied by the spacious Half Moon Taverns, which was frequented mostly by neighborhood's alcoholics. Above the taverns sat a 4-story Bowery flop house marked by a neon sign farmhouse, which was covered by a protective metal cage and hung from second floor of the large chains. The hotel entrance at 92 Bowery, which had no lobby but only a desolate hallway covered with dirty white tiles, was no more than 6 feet more than the entrance to 94. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Raju Prabhuji wants to read.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Raju Prabhuji, please read.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. 94 Bowery was a narrow 4-story building. It had long ago been painted grey and bore the usual facing of a massive black fire escape. A well-worn black double door, its glass panels reinforced reinforced with a chicken wire open onto the street. The sign board the sign above the door read AIR third, fourth, and fourth, indicating that artists and residents occupied those floors. The first floor, can I read one more?
Yes, Prabhuji, read Prabhuji.
Yeah, the first floor of the next building north, 96 Bowery, was used for storage. And its front entrance was covered with a rusty iron gate. At 98 Bowery was another tavern, Harold's, smaller and dingier than the Half Moon. Thus, the block consisted of 2 salons, a flop house, and 2 buildings with lofts. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalitman Prabhuji, please read.
In the 1960s, loft living was just beginning in that area of the New York City. The city had given permission for painters, musicians, sculptors, and other artists who required more space than available in most apartments to live in buildings that had been constructed as factories in the 19th century. After these abandoned factories had been fitted with fireproof doors, bathtubs, shower stalls, expensively use a large space. There were AIR lofts. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Akincham Prabhuji, can you please read? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, you read these 2 paragraphs.
Okay. Harvey Cohen's loft on the top floor of 94 Bowery was an open space almost 100 feet long from east to west and 25 feet wide. It received a good amount of sunlight on the east, the Bowery side, and it also had windows at the west end as well as the skylight. The exposed rafters of the ceilings were 12 feet above the floor. Harvey Cohen had used the loft as an art studio and racks for the painting still linked the walls. A kitchen and the shower were partitioned off in the northwest corner, and the room divider stood about 15 feet from the Bowery side windows. This divider did not run from wall to wall, but was open at other ends, and it was several feet short of the ceiling.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Any Prabhujis left? Lalkman Prabhuji, shall we continue, Prabhuji, this one?
No, we will stop, Prabhu. You share this, it was behind this partition, Prabhupada, that is personal.
Yeah.
You share this in the group, Prabhu. We will stop it here.
Okay.
It's already 9.
Yeah. So now what's the plan, Prabhuji?
We will go to the Rudra Gita, Prabhu. Please share that which is in the group. Okay. Open the WhatsApp group. Prabhuji has shared today one small slide. You can share that and we will go recite with that.
This one only, Prabhuji?
Yeah, it was behind this partition, the Prabhupada had a personal living area. Share the link, Prabhu, into the group. Okay.
This document only shared, Prabhuji.
And you share this also, Prabhu. You copy this and then share into the group.
Is it visible, Prabhuji, now? This one?
No, Rudra Gita is not yet visible.
Oh, is it? Okay. What about now?
No, now it is okay.
Yeah.
Now I can see. Everyone else also can see, now.
Yes.
Okay. Now this shloka of Rudra Gita, it has 6 lines actually. So if you have noticed till now, how we are going with Rudra Gita. The first 2 lines and the second 2 lines are also on the same meter. Okay. Generally, these 4 lines small shlokas, how would we do? First 2 lines in 1 meter, next 2 lines in another meter. That's what we do in Bhagavad Gita and all other Bhagavatas, right? But for Rudra Gita, what we do? The upper 2 lines and the lower 2 lines, they are in the same meter. Like I'll just read this 41 shloka. Please listen. Then you can understand how to read this 42 shloka. Okay. प्रवृत्ताय निवृत्ताय पितृदेवाय कर्मणे नमो धर्म विपाकाय मृत्यवे दुःखदाय च. Did you find that whole 4 lines are in the same meter? First 2 lines same meter and second 2 lines again same meter. If the same shloka is done in a different meter, please listen this one. प्रवृत्ताय निवृत्ताय पितृदेवाय कर्मणे नमो धर्म विपाकाय मृत्यवे दुःखदाय च. Second 2 lines are there in different meter, right? But we should not do this in our Rudra Gitam. Rudra Gitam, every 2 lines same meter. Okay, like the above 2 lines and the below 2 lines are on the same meter. Now please listen this. Pravrittaya nivrittaya pitridevaya karmane namo dharma vipakaya mrityave dukkadaya cha. Did you notice this? From the first shloka we are coming like this. Okay, the above 2 lines and the below 2 lines are on the same meter. Why we are going like that is because some shlokas like this will come in between. Like what? Like the 42 shloka. If you see the shloka 42, it has 3 bigger lines. Okay, it has 6 lines altogether. So now the whole pair of 2 lines will go in the same meter. How we will go in this shloka? Please listen. Namaste Ashisham Isha Manave Karanatmane Namo Dharmaya Brihate Krishnaya Kunthamedase Purushaya Puranaya Sankhya Yogeshwaraya Cha. This is how this shloka should go. So for this reason, from the first onwards, I was reciting both the same, both the pair of lines in the same meter. Understood, na? We should go every 2 lines in the same meter. We should not change the meter. Okay, in the whole Rudra Gita. Did you understand?
Yes,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Am
Yes,
I
Prabhu.
audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible.
A lot of disturbances are there.
Yes.
Okay. So we will go line by line meaning in the start, and then we will go with the recitation. Okay. Namaste Ashisham
And
Isha. Asha. Ashisham comes from the word Asha. Asha means desire. Okay. Or the benedictions. Korikal anamata. So Namasta Ashisham Isha. You are the supreme bestower of all the benedictions. Okay. Manave Karanatmane. Manave means supreme Manu. Okay. You are the supreme Manu, or you are the supreme mind. Manave Karanatmane. Karanatma means causes of all causes. You are the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. So that's what this word Karanatmane means. Okay. Namo Dharmaya Brihate. See, Dharmaya Brihate means the one who knows Dharma perfectly. Okay. So Dharma is very, very intricate. Don't just think that, if you know morals, you know Dharma. No. Dharma is different from the morality. Okay. Moral things are different and Dharma is different. So here, Lord Shiva is praising to Vishnu that you know the most subtler dharmas. Okay. If time permits, I will give a small example about the Sukshma dharmas. Okay. What's the time now? It's already 9:06. Should I go with the that Sukshma dharma, or should I go with the Sloka? What you all people desire?
First we will learn Sukshma Dharma.
Sukshma Dharma, Prabhu.
Sukshma dharmas, na? Okay, why?
Yeah.
Because Lord Shiva is praising to Lord Vishnu that you know the subtler of dharmas. Okay, so here, why I am telling, because Lord Vishnu is praising Lord Shiva about the person who knows more dharma, subtlest most dharma. See, dharma, a person who knows dharma will himself bewildered at some times, but not Lord Sri Hari. Okay, there is a story in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sorry, in Mahabharata. There is a story when Kunti says, "You divide Draupadi among yourselves." Actually, she says, "Whatever you have gained as a gift, you divide within all of you." Okay, and all these 5 brothers will get bewildered. अरे अभी जो हमें गिफ्ट मिला वो तो द्रौपदी है. She is a person and she is a lady. She is not like a thing. She is a person. And then this Bhima and Arjuna will show that she is the gift which we got. Then Kunti will get perplexed. अरे ये क्या हो गया? And now Dharmaraj. Dharmaraj, this Yudhishthir Maharaj, who is the son of Dharma and who is the personification of Dharma, who knows Dharma completely. Now what did he say? He says, Mother Kunti, you never spoke lie. So whatever comes out of your mouth should be Satya. Because that is the character of a person who never spoke lies. If whole lifetime, if you never spoke lies, then whatever comes out of your mouth should become Satya. It should become reality. So that is the Dharma actually. That is one Dharma. Okay. But Yudhishthir Maharaj said that to Kunti. Kunti, Mother Kunti, from your word, from your mouth, this word has come. So it should be true, no matter what. That's what Dharma says. Then Kunti will be perplexed. She will be very confused. अरे ये कैसे हो सकता है? See, one king can marry many queens, but one queen cannot be married by many kings. It is nowhere in the Dharma. So this is what actually Kunti will come and tell to this Dharmaraj. Then this Dharmaraj will say that there are 2 instances where Vasu Maharshi's son, Srineta or Shrikanya, something like that. There is one name, one devotee name, who will marry 10 prachetas of same name. Okay, and he will also give one more example in the past how this thing has happened, and they have their own set of rules. Okay, but still this Kunti will not get convinced. Okay, and then what happens? Drishtadyumna will take all these Pandavas, 5 Pandavas, and Mother Kunti and Draupadi towards the Drupada Maharaj, who is the king of Panchala. Okay, and there the same thing was put in front of Drupada Maharaj, and Drupada will also get confused. And Drupada is a very what do you say, dharmic king. See, now there is Dharmaraj's son who knows dharma in front, and there is Kunti who never lied, and there is a very dharmic king who is Panchala Raja, Drupada.
Prabhuji, your voice is breaking, Prabhuji.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu.
Yeah, now it's good.
Yeah. So at this point of time, His Holiness Vyasdev will come. Okay, out of his own will, because Krishna, Vyasdev is who? Literary incarnation of Krishna, who knows dharma more, right? So he will come and he will tell about the past of Draupadi, about the past of these 5 sons of Kunti. And when the pastime has been completely explained by Vyasdev to Drupada Maharaj will be very, very happy to give his daughter to all the 5 kings. Okay, so there are some subtleties in the daily life of general people where the dharma will be very, very sukshma. It will be very light. Okay, but one dharma is a person who never lies. Whatever comes from their mouth will always be satya, will always be in happening. Okay, that was the kind of stature those people used to have in the olden days. And see, because of that one word, how all dharma has was perplexed. But now again, who has come? Lord Krishna in the form of Vyasdev, who is the literary incarnation of Lord Krishna. He has come and he told that this is proper dharma actually, and it is because the Draupadi's past, in her past life, she asked 5 times to Mahadev, Lord Shiva, that she needs husbands of this quality. Okay, then all the 5 times Shiva said Tathastu, Tathastu. And now who is Shiva? Param Vaishnav. Whatever comes from his mouth will never go wrong. When he said Tathastu 5 times, that should happen 5 times. And then Lord Shiva told to Draupadi in her previous lifetime that you will get a husband, 5 husbands who has these qualities. Then Draupadi was not happy. Arey, aisa kaisa? मैं तो out of my curiosity I asked 5 times. Then Lord Mahadev will say, it is the sanction of the Supreme Lord, not mine. Okay, let it happen like that, and it will happen. Then Draupadi says, then it is okay. If it is Lord Paramatma's wish, then let it happen like that. And in this lifetime, she becomes Draupadi. She comes from Agni directly. She is not born from anyone. And she used to go through that thing. So the dharma will be very subtle sometimes. And who knows dharma well? The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Okay? Whenever dharma is completely confused, externally, he will come and solve the intricacies of the dharma. That is the reason Lord Mahadev is telling Lord Krishna that you are dharmaya brihate. You know the very dharma. Okay? Krishnaya kuntha medase. Krishna akuntha medase. Akuntha medase means your brain's activity is never checked by anyone. Okay? Your brain's activity will never stop. Purushaya Puranaya means you are the oldest of old. You are the oldest of all the human beings. All the Purushas, you are the oldest. Okay? Shankhya Yogeshwaraya cha. You are the one who bought the principles of Sankhya Yoga. Okay? So this is how Lord Shiva is praising Lord Krishna. So what are all things he was praising? One is Namaste Ashisham Isha. Ashisham means benediction. You are the supreme benedictor. Manave Karanatmane. Okay. You are the supreme mind and you are supreme cause of all causes. Namo Dharmaya Brihate. You are the knower of subtle intricacies of Dharma. Okay. And Krishnaya Kunta Medase. So your mind is always not checked, it is always continuously working. Purushaya Puranaya. You are the oldest of the old. Sankhya Yogeshwaraya. Okay. And you are the one who brought the Sankhya Yoga here. So we will recite it tomorrow. Thank you so much for staying till now. Prabhu, Chandramouli Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, we will stop it here, Prabhu.
Okay.
Tomorrow we will go with Sloka recitation.
Okay.
You can conclude the talk call, Prabhu.
Yeah. Vancha kalpatarbyascha kripa sindhubhyo evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Happy Krishna Conscious Thursday. Prabhuji and Matadis, thanks for joining. Have a nice day.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.